Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in this series, CXQ and Th000. Th000 taking game number 1 on Echo Isle with some impressive play, also being able to tech to tier 2 rather quickly, getting that panda, that breath of fire while walking across the center portion of the map, and then eventually taking down those 2 to 3 Crypt Fiends, which was enough to call the GG. We'll see how things do progress along here in game number 2, Well, this game might be a two-parter. I do have to stop casting in 20 minutes, so if the game does go long, well, I already warned you, and there will be a part 1 and part 2 to this particular cast. Sasquatch now going to get cleared out, Militia cleared out by this Archmage here. There should be plenty enough to get to level 2 on this Archmage as the Sasquatch does get taken down. Replenishment Potion is dropped. Is it going to be used is the big question, as he definitely does want to get more mana. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and the Forest Trolls will all get taken down. Archmage will pick up a Tome of Agility and get to level 2. Meanwhile, Death Knight, not having the benefit of Militia, but having some Skeletal Minions alongside him, able to creep out this creep camp, well, without any ghouls and any other units except for an Acolyte. So nicely done there as the Death Knight now runs off to the north and is going to apply some pressure. Archmage going to quickly finish off a Forest Troll Berserker, perhaps pick up the item as that is what he really wants. Slippers of Agility plus a Tome of Intelligence as the Death Knight is now, well, getting into position. Death Knight now trying to wander back around here. Footmen trying to make sure that they don't take any damage from those Skeletal Minions, but the Skeletal Minions will eventually all get taken out here as the Arcane Tower gets some, well, good feedback damage there as a Footman was able to finish off and get a little bit more experience for that Archmage. Death Knight now seriously in trouble. Will he be able to recover as he's already lost a little bit of the experience? Well, I wouldn't say he's lost the experience battle just quite yet. He is still 36 experience away from level 2, but Th000, being the aggressive player that he is known to be, is now looking to creep out and Militia creep out a Rock Golem creep camp with 2 Mud Golems, and well, that will definitely slow things down. Mud Golems and Rock Golems, however, are immune to magic, making them impossible to be killed with a Death Coil. Forest Troll going after all of these these units across over here. Death Knight does get to level 2. What did he take out? Perhaps a Forest Troll, Shadow or Forest Troll there as more Skeletal Minions are being popped back up. Footman trying to hide back off to the north here. Is he going to be able to do exactly that? Very low on hit points. Death Knight trying to get into position as now you see more damage just coming across here. What's going on? The Rock Golem down to 46 hit points, and a lot of damage is still being added. The Crypt Fiend could just try and finish it off, and yes, the Death Knight ends up picking up the Rock Golem, the Potion of Invulnerability, and that was a huge misstep by Th000. Yes, Th000 saved all of his units. No, he even lost that low hit point Footman. He didn't save his units, ended up giving his opponent a level 6 creep and the item, and that was just a huge misstep there as the Archmage would already be at level 3 with level 2 Water Elementals. This is going to further throw him behind as he isn't able to drop down a Water Elemental as of yet. It means that he's going to be creeping out these creep camps a little bit more slowly as well. And, well, the Death Knight is going to get to level 3 slightly faster as well. Archmage now coming across here. What is going to happen? Archmage drops a Water Elemental, hoping to put pressure here. Skeletal Minion's going to get taken down. Death Knight. Oh, well, who picked up the item? I believe the Death Knight still got the item there. 3 experience away from level 3. Archmage is just at level 3 right now as the Water Elemental causing some problems. Archmage may end up getting surrounded, and Th000 wanting blood and only smelling his own after taking a bit of a gamble there. Water Elemental gets taken down, and level 3 now on the Death Knight. All right, one bad play deserves another, so to speak. Th000 is by no means behind, but he could be much, much further ahead after a series of missteps, as the Death Knight is at level 3 and should be able to pick off some more units while supporting his army that much better. Slaughterhouse is about to be done. Lich is already underway as the Skeletal Minions are getting into position. Arcane Tower is up. I believe that is 7 peasants on the gold mine. Talk about another misstep there. You have just, or is that 6 or 7? I can't really count since they're just all wandering around again as the Crypt Fiends are now looking to take down the Arcane Vault. Death Knight is near, or excuse me, Archmage is nearby, is keeping track of all of this. You have some Scroll of Regeneration footmen off over here as the Death Knight may be able to pick off perhaps a handful of water elementals for a little bit more experience. Death Knight still sitting at 330 hit points, should be fine. Death Coils, Crypt Fiends, this is all going to be very interesting as we will be looking at Destroyers. Destroyers are extremely powerful in these upcoming fights. And I'm not quite sure what exactly will be happening here as we are getting underway. All right, I might just have to try and cast this game and judge it as the Death Knight now continuing to put pressure on all of these footmen. Lich is right nearby. It looks as though the footman now trying to back off there. There goes a Frost Nova. There goes that one footman there. Obsidian Statue now getting a bit of heals. Claws of Attack +6 given, or +6 given to the Lich. Death Knight is still nearby though. Death Knight can still get slowly healed, and the water elementals are just chasing after the Obsidian Statue, not realizing that the Obsidian Statue is just walking around in a circle. Death Knight now being brought back over as well. Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, as the Death Knight now gets in between the targets and now going to go straight for, well, the expansion location again. Crypt Fiends are going to find partially built blacksmith. Is it going to be able to take it down in time? It does have no armor type right now, and you can see that that damage is dropping rather fast, or the hit points are dropping rather fast. Not going to be able to stick around for very long as the footmen with the Fen all show up. Perhaps trying to get a Breath of Fire Panda would be very useful at this point. We are at tier 3. Death Knight does have an Orb of Corruption, Rod of Necromancy, and if we do end up getting a Breath of Fire, all of these footmen who are currently swarming, their usefulness will drop drastically, and all of a sudden, all that you can really do is hope to get some more experience off of creeping. All right, Crypt Fiends now trying to make their way over. Lich could get some Frost Novas in as well. No Orb of Corruption on the Lich. Spoke too soon. Orb of Corruption now on the Lich, as the Crypt Fiends are now going to try to back off. Death Knight probably going to be landing a Death Coil here on that Lich in just a moment. There it is. There's a Death Coil. But the Lich is still taking a lot of damage, now trying to slither his way through back again. Lich now in a little bit, or in an okay situation, as units are just continuing to fight. More Frost Novas going down, and you're going to see that that Lich is just going to be able to pick off unit after unit fairly fast. Archmage now going after the Obsidian Statue, and that's actually just a big misstep there. A lot of additional damage is going to be absorbed by that Archmage, as the Obsidian Statue now going to head back onto Blight. Meanwhile, back across north here, you can see one guard tower, or scout tower, now going to get pressured. Footmen now trying to make their way over. Lich does not have mana, and without the Obsidian Statue there, it is actually going to be a little bit harder to get mana onto your target. Meanwhile, Death Knight going after these units, picking off those footmen one at a time. Death Coil Archmage now down to 105. Death Knight can just go off to the chases and know that the Archmage will end up being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal. Scroll of Town Portal back to the expansion location. Lich now sitting at level 2. Is it going to matter? The Archmage is sitting back up to the top. You will use a Potion of Healing as the units are now looking to back up again. All right. Death Knight gonna end up taking down that Arcane Vault and may continue to put pressure here. Ivory Towers are now being added, as really Tho is in a little bit of trouble. However, no Obsidian Statues is going to really limit the amount of damage or the longevity of this push. You need mana on the Lich and the Death Knight, and there is one Obsidian Statue arriving to the party. Lich taking a lot of damage from that Arcane Tower, as units are now all backing up. Are we getting the second Obsidian Statue? No, an Acolyte to do a bit of repairing, as the Death Knight arrives here as well. All right, it looks as though, yes, CXQ is currently doing a great job making sure to give Essence of Blight and Essence of Mana to both units from this one Obsidian Statue. No, having 2 now. So the Death Knight is going to be able to get mana back up, and so will that Lich. All right. Lots of guard towers here. We do not see a meat wagon being trained. That is perhaps the big issue now, as we are looking to build a workshop here and a workshop here. Tome of Strength, Circuit of Nobility. Why not pick it up? It's right there. All right. You can see Dark Ritual now being used by the Lich, able to pick off some units. Yeah. I'm not quite sure why that was not being picked up at all. Arcane Tower now putting pressure onto the Crypt Fiend. We are looking at a Paladin as the second hero, as instead of a Mountain King, as we are currently sitting at Keep. Death Knight could pick up that right there. We see a retraining right now. Lich could always use a little bit more. Come on, it's right there. Please pick it up. Nope, apparently it is not worth the extra damage on the Death Knight or the extra hit points on the Lich as the one workshop does get taken down. Come on, Circlet Nobility, you can sell for gold, it's free. It's just sitting on the ground as we are now looking at the workshop getting pressured again. Oh, we have a potential surround. Archmage able to slip through. Are we going to get a Frost Nova from the Lich? Frost Nova onto the Lich. Staff of Teleportation now being used. It almost gets taken out, teleported where we do not know, as the lumber mill now getting rebuilt here. All right, Scout Farm in position here. Destroyers are now up in the air. Did they absorb a bit of mana? Yes, they did. They can easily go after that Goblin Shredder. Goblin Shredder gonna drop like a fly. You can see how much damage is just being absorbed right there as the units are now backing across. All right. Frost Nova right there. Dark Ranger now being added as well. Silence being used as the countermeasure, as the Archmage is still running around back and forth. Death Coil saving the unit there. Archmage is trapped between a farm and a workshop. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Potion of Healing was used just a little bit. Continuing this fight, more damage, and there goes that Archmage. Archmage falls at level 3 as the Death Knight continuing to put pressure here. He could get to level 4 in just a moment. He could have the stats of a level 4 Death Knight if he picked up a Circlet of Nobility, if only there was one around. Lich finally picks up those items. Thank you. As the barracks will get pressured down now. We are building up a castle. We are not resurrecting the altar at the Altar of Kings. Resurrecting at, well, the tavern and using a Clarity Potion and Holy Light to get back up to full. All right. It looks like CXQ is doing a great job here. Gonna finally dive into this position. Death Knight taking a lot more damage than he probably bargained for, but is currently okay as the Archmage now arrives back to the party again. Are we gonna see a Frost Nova from the Lich? Lich does have enough mana, but does not have enough experience for level 3 yet, and I think that's the main hindrance right now. Without level 3, guard towers. Let's take a look at this. Those units are now low on hit points. Purposely pulling back. Obsidian Statue now showing up to the parties as well. You can see that this destroyer down to 170, 180, slowly getting back up as the destroyers want to finish off the Goblin Shredder, unable to do so. Still taking a bit more damage. Death Knight should be able to get off a Death Coil here in just a moment. Those destroyers need to stay nearby as the Death Knight would definitely rather Death Coil a destroyer, saving one, or getting it at least back up to 600 hit points now, and should be able to get another Death Coil off here in just a moment. All right, more pressure being added. We are 37 over 48 supply. That is a ton of guard towers right there. Still no meat wagons, as Th000 is doing a great job defending against this attack. There is Blizzard being used once more. Silence, Frost Nova, Lich getting in that damage. Death Knight now in position, and we are going to be getting this around, but a Staff of Sanctuary pretty much negates that, as the Archmage is, well, back behind these guard towers, which is exactly where he wants to be. All right, Lich in serious, well, poking damage from all of those guard towers. Archmage is right there. Frost Nova gonna get some damage there as well. Death Knight doing a little bit of a chase. We do have what, Unholy Aura level 2, better regeneration across all of these units. They are regenerating as though they are on Blight right now, as all the units are now backing off. All right, the destroyers perhaps should somehow try to get some mana and then finish off these guard towers. This guard tower right here could get focused down fairly fast without all of the guard towers constantly within range. All right, Blacksmith. Workshop now coming into play. Are we going to see some siege engines now making their way down? And Th000, if he turns this game into a siege engine battle because of the expansion, well, I can already imagine the comments already. Now, the problem right now is the unit choice. This Crypt Fiend Destroyer army is good, is strong enough to take down a human base, is great against a human army, but is not good against a Siege Engine army, since the Siege Engine can attack back if it has the upgrades, and it also has Fortified Armor. Fortified Armor greatly reduced damage from piercing damage and magic damage. Guess what the destroyers and the Crypt Fiends do? As you see, well, the damage now coming across here. All right, Siege Engine attempting to take down this Nerubian tower. Blizzard being brought over. Stormbolt onto the ghouls, as the ghouls now getting taken down as well. All right, Holy Light, another. Mountain King may be able to get off another Stormbolt there. That would finish it off, and oh, the ghoul gets out in time. All right, turning this into a base race situation is exactly what Th000 wanted to do, saying, you know what, if you turn this into a base race, I have more bases. Archmage now sitting at level 4, level 2 Brilliance Aura. Mountain King now trying to get away as the destroyers are just here trying to destroy the remainder of this army. Lich still sitting at level 2. There goes the Death Coil Frost Nova as the Siege Engine will get taken down. Level 3 now on that Lich. Plenty of mana as we now are being forced to see all these units now head back home. Archmage does get a Blizzard off. Meatwagon now just throwing some damage straight up onto all of these guard towers here, or at least should be. No, hitting the town hall as we now see a Siege Engine make their way out. All right, Siege Engine, is it going to end up getting taken down here? Focus down the Siege Engine. It is only 3 supply. Perhaps should actually be considered a 4 supply unit in terms of the experience given, as the Mountain King shows up to the party to try and defeat a Meatwagon, but the Meatwagon is still quite alright. Siege Engine now going to be brought over. Skeleton minions down over here. Do we have enough ghouls? No, only 1 ghoul. And Undead doesn't have enough to really defend against this upcoming attack as the Archmage once again gets silenced. Alright, Meatwagon perhaps should be attacking the ground right here, getting damage across on the town hall in addition to some of the towers in the back and those peasants. Blizzard, Blizzard destroying everything in a 5 diameter Crypt Fiend circle as all of this is still getting underway. Lich trying to get into position. Lich has plenty of mana. Accidentally takes some arcane damage. That is going to be a problem. Now continuing the fight again. Siege Engines now making their way down over here. You can see a bit of repairs getting underway as this Siege Engine will get taken down at the hands of, well, a Black Citadel. No experience given back there. Crypt Fiend very low on hit points. Archmage falls at level 4. Both sides are getting pressured, but Archmage does fall at level 4. Gonna see a quick resurrection. Mountain King and Paladin still ready to go. All right. Still getting underway. Paladin now trying to make their way back down south here. Lich trying to finish off this expansion. You see the Disease Cloud now being added. Arcane Dark Ranger. Oh, no. For some reason, no Frost Nova there, as all of the damage is still being added here. Those peasants are going to be suffering a lot of damage indeed, as the destroyers are now showing up to the party. Death Knight now arrives to the party as well. Stormbolt, no Stormbolt onto the Death Knight as of yet. As you can see, the Archmage is getting healed back up. Dark Ranger in the position here. Death Knight now trying to wander around. We could see a Frost Nova onto no Frost Nova going after some of the other units instead. Is there another Staff of Sanctuary? Staff of Sanctuary sitting on the Mountain King as the destroyers are now poking apart that once again. All right, Meatwagon continuing to attack here. Constant repairing underway. Back across here, Siege Engine will get taken down. There it goes as another Siege Engine arrives to the party. What are you doing? If you are going to be working around to take down one Siege Engine, might as well work around to take down another, as the Siege Engines have come underway. Back across here, peasants. Really, that Disease Cloud needs to go down onto all of these units. Just attack the ground there. Attacking, there you go, taking down 3 peasants. That is going to be enough to make a big difference as the Archmage does teleport back here. Perhaps a Blizzard will be able to save, as the Archmage now able to zone back these Crypt Fiends again. Mountain King getting healed back up. Paladin getting healed back up and getting more mana as well. More pressure still underway. Dark Ranger, you can see this Siege Engine down to 700 hit points. Is it going to end up getting taken down? Is it going to end up getting surrounded? That's what you're really looking for. And how can you not surround such a slow unit? Just do it. There you go. A lot of units slowing and surrounding that Siege Engine right there. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Archmage, Paladin, Mountain King, 411. That's the current level info, as we're still getting the Obsidian statues back off to the north. Meatwagons should really be trying to put pressure down across here, attacking here, taking down some of those peasants, adding in that Disease Cloud. It would be absolutely perfect. Attack right here. You take down a peasant or 2 every so often, and then the repairs and the gold advantage would become nil. All right, Death Coil, Frost Nova, Paladin, very, very low on hit points, waiting for a Staff of Sanctuary. Stormbolt instead from the Death Knight. Mountain King is in position as the Crypt Fiends are all going to line back up pretty much. Dark Ranger is right there. Blizzard now zoning the units back again. And this is still the issue. Finally, I believe that it is finally attacking right there in order to, if it's going to land and hit something. There goes a peasant. Yes, finally attacking there. All right, back to the action, though. Archmage continuing the fight back here. Death Knight now going after the Arcane Vault. Should be able to take this down here in just a moment. Staff of Teleportation now teleporting back off to the north as the Archmage now looks to put pressure onto this meat wagon, who is now down to 210 hit points. No Acolyte nearby, though. Death Knight does show up to the party. The meat wagon does have Unholy Aura and will be regenerating a bit of hit points as 2 siege engines make their way down to the south. Meat wagons going, and the Crypt Fiends now trying to put pressure onto the town hall. 53 over 70 supply, 72 compared to 72 over 90, as the destroyers are now arriving to the party to try and finish, well, the remainder of this Black Citadel off. All right, Death Knight now arriving to the party as well. Lich, Dark Ranger off over here. Archmage is in serious trouble. Death Coil, Frost Nova, and there it goes. Dark Ranger now going to be coming back at level 3 as the level 4 Archmage does get taken down. Crypt Fiends, Militia now making their way over to put pressure onto this location here, and that is going to be a continual issue and sore point as the siege engine will eventually get taken down. Siege engine number 1 falls to a meat wagon. Siege engine number 2 is going to fall to a meat wagon and company as well, as siege engine number 3 is getting constructed. 50 over 72, no gold in that gold mine. Only 10 seconds left of mining at the expansion location here. No real reason to repair any longer. You are low on gold and you do not have an expansion set up at all. Archmage getting underway. And this is going to be a very, very close game here. Mountain King, Archmage still making their way through. Death Knight, Siege Engine, or Meat Wagon now making its way across. Are they going to try and engage right here, trying to take down some of these units? Meat Wagon can be in the back position, attacking all of these units. And there you go, going straight up on top of all of these units here. Mounting, or Blizzard, straight up landing on top of all of these units. Silence onto that Archmage, though, as the siege engines are going to finish off the remainder of these, or excuse me, meat wagons finishing off the remainder of the siege engines, as we are looking at the Black Citadel staying steady at 500 hit points. All right, it looks as though the remaining 2 will get taken down. There goes one, there goes the other. Level 5. Level 4 on the Lich, level 3 on the Dark Ranger, going up against a 4-1-1 hero combination. And you would normally think, hey, that means the human has the advantage. Human is behind, and that is definitely not the case right now, as, well, there is no gold being mined from the Undead side. All right, Destroyers trying to make their way across, trying to figure out where all of these flying machines are. Flying machine, oh, can it finish it off, that unit? No, cannot do so. Could have tried to devour magic that flying machines heal, and then at least it wouldn't be able to continually heal, as the Death Knight is doing a little bit of creeping just for gold right now. Undead, what you see is what you get, but what you see is a 75 supply army, which is very good. What you see is not what you get. The economic advantage, 7 gold a second, is going to translate into a flying machine army here that will take down the destroyers in a matter of seconds. All right, continuing the fight back and forth here. Death Knight, Crypt Fiends, Destroyers, all wandering around. Dark Ranger, Lich, now making their way off to the north here. Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin, still trying to fight their way to the top right. Will they be able to get away? Dark Ranger, Stormbolt. Mountain King is in trouble. No Staff of Sanctuary to be found. Mountain King gets taken down, as the Archmage, well, will be able to resurrect that Mountain King with little effort, though, since he does still have an Altar of Kings and plenty of gold. Meanwhile, siege engines back down to the south, taking down some of these buildings, as the Crypt Fiends are trying to finish off the remaining of those units. Flying machines overhead, though. What is going to happen? The expansion is just too well protected right now, as more and more gold income is still coming in. 2 siege, or the 1 siege engine not going to be able to finish off, as there are 2 meat wagons in the back here. Acolyte should probably be repairing these meat wagons, as well, as we're now looking at the Death Knight, who does not have a Scroll of Town Portal. Boots of Quoth the Lost given to the Dark Ranger. Units now heading back down to the south. Do the flying machines have the attack ground? They will have it in just a moment, And with that, there is one Spirit Tower and, well, one Black Citadel for anti-air. That is it. More siege engines now coming across here, and this is going to turn up into a straight-up base race. There is the Blizzard meat wagons are going after all of these all of these units now. There goes one meat wagon, another meat wagon going to get taken out, and the siege engines will, in fact, go to town, taking down the remaining of these units as the flying machines bombard all of the meat wagons. All right, siege engines, still 2 left. Crypt Fiends trying to ensnare or web down all of these flying machine units here as we are still engaging back. So far, the siege engines are just walking around back and forth once again. Paladin and Mountain King back across over here as we are just fighting inside this base. Now, this is a problem. Undead needs to engage his opponent, but if he engages his opponent, he has nothing to really defend against this siege engine push right now that is currently, well, still underway. More siege engines are being added. There is still plenty of gold in this gold mine, and the early economy advantage that the Archmage was able to gather seems to be a bit too much. Flying machines, 7 of them ready to go. As long as the Crypt Fiends are not nearby, those flying machines can, in fact, do a fair bit of damage. And that is what we have right now. 50 over 72 supply. Perhaps trying to get a bit more of a bank before anything really happens. Acolytes are on the move. As you see, the flying machines now making their way straight after all of these units. Destroyers going around as well. Death Knight desperately trying to keep this base up and alive as the siege engine now looks to back off, buying time by going into the far, far reaches of this base. All right. Meanwhile, Th000 now making its rounds, gonna head over here, find another easy creep camp. Blizzard at this creep camp here should really deal a lot of damage, finishing off the brigands and nearly the Renegade Wizard as well. Mountain King now gonna get to level 2. Second Blizzard now goes down as the Renegade Wizard will fall as well, and Human Tri-Hero really working out as well. You get Devotion Aura. Yippity-doo-dah there as the flying machine now still flying around once again. All right. CXQ being forced to unsummon buildings, and that's exactly what you don't want to do when you are in a base race. But I do say forced. He needs some gold in order to do something, as the Ziggurats are all now getting taken out and no new units. This is going to turn into a long, long fight as, well, the Haunted Gold Mine is now in play off over here, but it may be too little, too late, as the siege engines are now trying to run back away once again. All right, -5 armor. So 3 fortified armor is still a big issue. Meanwhile, the main heroes and the army is now putting pressure onto the Acolytes. Acolytes, 1, 2 are going to get taken out as the units are now coming across here to deal more damage and finish off more of these Acolytes again. Even if the Haunted Gold Mine is up, it doesn't matter if you do not have the Acolytes. And the Acolytes and flying machines are now all high priority targets with very, very low hit points. This Haunted Gold Mine does end up getting canceled. You can see that the siege engine is trying to run away. Not going to be able to do very much. But back over here, 2 buildings are left. 1 building is left. And that is, in fact, going to be the GG. The siege, the ghouls trying their best to finish this off, but no such luck. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.